The question is, after Bruno winning the PFA Player of the Year, will you count Bruno Fernandes as part of the best midfielders Premier League never experienced it? Even after said trophies and back Bruno Fernandes as expected, are you going to count Bruno as one of the best midfielders Premier League I experience it? And that's the question. So at the comment section, and I feel the side of Declan Rice. So do you think Declan Rice deserve the PFA Player of the Year more than Bruno Fernandes? And also watch your at the comment section. These are one of the key conversations I've been having, and also the side of Julián Álvarez, how attention piling up the side of Atletico Madrid and also the side of FC Barcelona. Major meetings somewhere, the decisions are FC Barcelona for not taking concerning Julián Álvarez. Atletico Madrid first stands on Julián Álvarez. The club Atletico Madrid is very interested in selling Julián Álvarez to and I feel so. Our own player Antoine Semenyo making into the PFA team of the season, and also you won't come up. Whether I say it's a great achievement for Antoine Semenyo, and I think a great achievement for him. But this just by the way, you didn't come out for Kwesisibo in Libya and it seems people are, having a lot of conversation, having a lot of perception about the Libya now. You didn't come out for home. Here the utility analyst making sure so be like it. Now I subscribe and then you put us on post notification, so when you drop a content you be the first person to view. Now yes, I say Kwesisibo. So then after that we go to the other news. You see Kwesisibo Libya. Now it seems that majority of Ghanaians any in Libya now because he is a player waiting me every the comfort zone, that is Ghana, Echo Spain, Aqua I'm waiting me any in the world of football. Spain, everyone knows Kwesisibo performance on the Real Oviedo. Now at this point, this player is coming back to Libya, North Africa. Conversation is I am Kobesio. Now then I wait me acquire this Spain now because I'm back to Africa. Now I'm going to take you home. Options are back from France, even League 2 in the Premier League. That's the Sky Sports Championship. She am man free one man. The conversation about Kwesisibo, they say Kwesisibo baby do this kind of was open. Muno Timu say Kwesisibo is 28 years old. 28 years old. An Africa player 28 years old Meminji the question Kwesisibo that you know that say Obeji Ballon d'Or. I don't think Kwesisibo will think about winning the Ballon d'Or. So right now it's about making money, getting something into the bag out the way feel. That's the difference between African and European players, European players are being born for the system, but all Africa they copy BBA with you. You are going out of your comfort zone to go somewhere and search for money for the family. And even South Americans, there are some people are mobile out of Europe, every place. So even Europeans, some of them, almost for UK, almost for Spain. Ain't for Namoko, Saudi Arabia, Wajiska, Gabriel Vega of Celta Vigo, young player about 20 years old, Okodas, Saudi Arabia. The other place, Ivan Tony Mooney now, they left England on a comfort zone. They are going to search for money. And the football idea, and you'll be able to those individual accolades, Ballon d'Or, and at some point, think about your life. Because see a show born now born for fair now at the end of the day there is nothing in the account that it make any sense. And Kwesisibo in baby will free Sunday special born to Crofrom Park from Crofrom to Oviedo. Now at some point Oviedo releasing no Obenya that is a 2-year contract which is worth $10 million dollars. He has to go in for that. So for me, Kwesisibo going to Libya I don't have any problem with it. And because in Kobe but the thing is the money involved, is very huge. And even before the contract agreement, what if 50% of the salary already to what if $5 million not to order that? We secure this Canada on them. So your man is thinking about making money more than what you come because wants European football. Let's be honest to ourselves. One wants European football. No one. But Kwesisibo, no about to grow from, no but same people will say that now we have opportunity to cover, but then are they fear. So we should be thinking about these things. Nigeria is a Ghana player any day. Well, Libyan league maybe attractive. But at this point, because you see, also doing the bottom is very important more than he chasing glories near you. No, if you don't know about the grass one danger, that's what La Liga and Buddha. And then you have to know about let him come to Libya on Medinisi Kanshi the bottom. At the end of the day, about Libya, or bit Mababa to Trasaco die, East Legon die in the it's simple as ABC. Now you see, Bruno Fernandes are the PFA Player of the Year. Now the interesting part about this is already my argument is that Declan Rice deserved it more than Bruno Fernandes. But the thing is, what Bruno did start on the or breaking the record of a single player making more than 20 assists in the Premier League. Already Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne. Bruno will break 21 assists. One assist a new record, 21 assists in a single season. Player assists in the Premier League, They position it very well to compete. So Bruno also deserves to ultimate. But for me, my personal opinion, the role that Declan Rice said on the numbers and back Declan very well. So you might not, include Declan Rice in such conversation. But the thing is, Declan was very consistent for Arsenal at some point. And even almost 80% of the season, the availability of Declan, they be all on him. And the type of performance that Declan Rice had in my head, and apart from the performances, the leadership qualities he brought into the Arsenal team, it positioned him very well for the PFA Player of the Year. But start now back with Bruno Fernandes, and also thinking about where he is coming from, a team that isn't winning, Manchester United. Now performing very well for Manchester United. He positioned him very well for that conversation of a PFA Player of the Year. Now the next conversation concerning Bruno Fernandes, they say, will you include Bruno Fernandes as one of the best midfielders at Premier League Nenyana? That's the yes. But you see, Manchester United have done Bruno Fernandes a greater disservice. One of the greatest disservice in football has been said Manchester United and we need trophies and back Bruno Fernandes. So every time, someone like Martin Odegaard able to boost off a Premier League trophy. There is Declan Rice can boost of Premier League trophy. Mikel Merino able to make this uncommon. Kevin De Bruyne Phil Foden move able to make this uncommon. Rodri multiple Premier League win able to make this uncommon. Virgil van Dijk able to make this uncommon. Then here comes Bruno Fernandes. Can he have a Premier League conversation at some point? It's a no, because Ondimin JV for Manchester United. And there is one thing about the English teams, in England, they value the Premier League more than the Champions League. They even see that the Premier League is more equivalent to the Champions League. And until that to date, that is, Steven Gerrard added the Champions League, but he's not valued in England compared to Frank James Lampard. Because Lampard won the Premier League and won the Champions League. If they are having Premier League conversations, Omeka Gerrard no GB Dana. And it is very painful. And you see, it doesn't look like Manchester United will win in upcoming years. Manchester United doesn't look like a team that's ready to win in upcoming years. So Bruno might finish his career without a Premier League trophy, without a Champions League. So Obi Kofa Kevin De Bruyne back. No Obi Kofa Bruno Fernandes back. Conversation ni be tene. Although Bruno ebenya numbers no, but conversations ni be tene because say anyone on the Kevin De Bruyne ever into that conversation, that person will back that with trophies and individual accolades. And there comes Bruno Fernandes. Individual accolades he might be there, but about into the trophies in this one, he's not there. Bruno has 70 days. Very painful. Sometimes when I hear that, say what Bruno Fernandes go through, Bruno Fernandes are performing very well. Now at the end of the day, though, the performance is not being backed with trophies. Very, very painful. But football is at some point something that as such happened to Harry Kane until he moved from that Tottenham Hotspur to Bayern Munich to be able to win his first trophy. Right now he's having about 4 trophies or so. So I just feel like, say Bruno, no baby, will 32 years or so. If it's possible, say Obey Manchester United, I think it's going to help him if he wants to win something, because this Manchester United team doesn't look like a team. Yes, coming the bit magic baby. Now you see, Antoine Semenyo was being included in the PFA Team of the Year. Well deserved Antoine Semenyo. Performance of Semenyo are having year under review, scoring closer to 16 goals. I think he was the 3rd goal scorer in the Premier League statistics and everything from Bournemouth to Manchester City on January, still put out a show. Everything shows the performance of Antoine Semenyo was top notch. Now, what's the next for Antoine Semenyo is about consistency. That is it. If Antoine Semenyo wants to be celebrated as other players, it's about consistency. We even bought one season win and the next season no one performing very well. It's about consistency, and that's one thing I had Ghanaian players baby in the English Premier League. Someone like Mohamed Kudus. The problem is now where the consistency na anyone. Anything that Kudus ain't even do baby was doing because from Ajax to that's West Ham United to Tottenham Hotspur, the next target was to target one of the top 3 clubs, either Liverpool, either Manchester United, and I say Chelsea or even Manchester City. That was the next target. But you see, because of inconsistent development, I stuck the bit. So they went through for Antoine Semenyo right now and they say we'll do the pinnacle of the career of Manchester City. I don't think there is any club in the last 10 years in the Premier League that's more attractive than Manchester City. So playing for Manchester City, you've gotten good numbers. What about the PFA player of the team of the year? Sorry. The next thing is to be consistent. That's the only thing for Antoine Semenyo. If he wants to be celebrated as such, the consistency will prove that he deserves that, gestures from people outside of Motion football. Now you see, it seems Julián Álvarez, the situation is getting very tense right now. And a meeting between Diego Pablo Simeone, John Marin, Eric Lorenzo, Fernando Hidalgo, and also that is Julián Álvarez himself. And as throughout the meeting, Julián Álvarez was crying. Julián was crying. At this point, Julián Álvarez, every possible teamer, and I said, the people involved in the Julián Álvarez saga, FC Barcelona, Julián Álvarez himself and Atletico Madrid, everyone obeying Julián Álvarez is going to lose something. Right now, it has affected the players psychologically. Me ma won't Barcelona unless I'm a Tom Arsenal. Brabebo ball or be to stadium. France need Bruno or Bruno. Even to an extent to say, even on one Argentine player, one fight Bruno against Villarreal. Oh, that's Wanda Metropolitano. Japon ball, yes, Julián Álvarez, Uncle Cocha fans or call near to Jesse Bruno. Baby, the news is all about Julián Álvarez. The noise about the player affected it psychologically. So if you are club Atletico Madrid, and then at this point, I was away. I know that he is under a long contract that is protecting the player. But the thing is, find ways and means to negotiate and let the player go. Because if you are to keep the player right now, psychologically, the player is out of Atletico Madrid already. I say Akoda, when you face will be too quiet, out the classroom. There is no way to be focused on. I didn't teach any nature that because already the next I want you to quiet. That's similar thing that Julián Álvarez would say. Julián assistant Najee now FC Barcelona. So no matter how I obey obedient to Atletico Madrid or Kwakobo games, the mind ain't what Atletico Madrid did that. So it is up to Atletico Madrid say they will sit down and negotiate with FC Barcelona. I know say Angel Guilmarin is trying to maintain ego. He doesn't want to be the loser of this battle. But sometimes accept defeat because the player looks unhappy. And even with the side of FC Barcelona, with what Julián Álvarez I go through in the last month, even if FC Barcelona gets Julián Álvarez, I think he might not be in the mental state to give that performance FC Barcelona will expect from him that moment. That is what I'm saying here. Whoever gets Julián Álvarez at this moment, is going to lose because of how the whole saga has been dragged. Even today, FC Barcelona themselves did a meeting. And the agreement was, it's either we are signing Julián Álvarez or we are not signing a striker. So it's about dropping the ego Gilmar dropping his ego at this point. Accept to say they defeat you because that's the fact. Player unless one more club ni player unless change that club no more in the AE that say overtone player because keeping on happy player no it will affect the dressing room. Even news as about and say some of the people in the dressing room and some of the players in the dressing room are not even happy with Julián Álvarez. Some feels like when the woman ain't calling on toy because they are so many that. So Atletico Madrid for no, Gilmar should drop the ego aside. Sit down and negotiate with FC Barcelona. Say 150 na besa wajia, 150 or nothing. Negotiate with FC Barcelona, don't play anymore. Now at the end of the day, you get your money and get your peace because Julián Álvarez in the dressing room will affect the dressing room negatively. Already Atletico Madrid in the last 8-9 years has not been winning. So if you want to win, you shouldn't keep on happy players. So the saga is getting interesting as it stands. Julián Álvarez wants to leave, and then who is sued and then say man in court? Is it Julián Álvarez or they're done soon? So I urge you to like, then you subscribe. Now they have to post notification. So when you drop a content, you'll be the first person to view any football updates. I'll bring it.